Why I value being an NYSED teacher leader? 93% said access to quality teaching resources and materials.
The whole idea behind these institutes is that we are training teachers to spread out the knowledge that they are getting.
Welcome to the 2016 mini grant presentations.
And so some of our experienced teacher leaders applied to do mini grants.
We're going to break and move into a poster session.
The depth over breadth approach too that we've been talking about at Institute.
Nice.
The mini grants are really a way for them to take what we've taught them and apply it creatively, doing their own work.
Do you have any questions?
And also, in that process, providing resources for teachers to use.
Teachers peer review resources specifically for adult ed students.
The poster session was a way for people to walk around and sort of more informally learn about the different projects and to make connections.
Okay, let's have a map.
It was really immensely gratifying to see teachers step up. I mean, they put in a lot of work for a small mini grant.
And we do repetition for a whole week.
You know, they submitted their proposals in December, they found out in January, and then they had to present their projects in March. And so that was an incredibly quick turnaround.
I show them the actual tribometric scale.
And the depth of the materials and the resources and the presentations that they put forth in that short amount of time were nothing short of amazing.
These are really high-quality projects that we think all teachers across the state can benefit from.
I worked with the folks at CUNY to develop a new section of Collect Ed called Math Memos. The kind of cornerstone is that taking time to reflect as a teacher on problem solving pays big dividends in the classroom.
A lot of my students have testing anxiety, and so how do we bridge from the CUNY framework to the ORT or the task test?
I'm here today to talk about the math fair, how we made it happen, and how you can do a professional development to show other people how it can happen.
Each group member should have a different color strip. My mission was to develop a package of lessons, can stand alone or they can be added to other lessons in the English language learning class, and that we can kind of start to integrate mathematical thinking into our curriculum.
Adults are self-directed in their learning. They come with experience. And sometimes we can pull from that experience, take what they know and build them.
To our ESL students, no matter what their level is, history and social studies are relevant. How do I help you to identify the most important areas to focus on since you have limited time?
When they walk into our classroom, they're looking for language skills, not necessarily for content area. So what we're trying to do is to introduce social studies and really try to make them engaged. It has to come from them.
The goal of our project was to create a library of writing prompts for teachers that they could just pull out, and we kind of modeled on how the writing prompts looked in the task test.
My students were coming back from the task test telling me that what we were doing in class was not necessarily as difficult as what they were seeing on the test.
Circle around the room and ask people their goals. And we thought it was important for students to identify goals, particularly if they were preparing for the HSE task and for their future if they were moving on to college.
I made a guide for us to create our own close reads. We're scaffolding. We are using lower level questions just to draw out specific information, and at the same time, we are building confidence.
And our topic today is going to be energy, and we wanted to start thinking about just energy in everyday life. Within all of this, we're hoping to make really rich extensions or connections for teachers who don't teach science as their primary subject, or who aren't sure how to get their students excited about science.
We focused with our teachers on the core ideas of evolution, on Darwin, and the connections to math, ELA, and even some social studies.
I think it was really energizing for the teachers to come and see their kind of fellow teacher leaders presenting this.
I love that problem so much.
As a trainer, it was a very powerful experience to kind of see how much ownership all of the teacher leaders have taken. They had developed these resources that were very valuable, but they were also modeling a workshop that teachers could do with other teachers to say, here's how you can unpack this resource with other people.
And you change the partner now.
They come from regions across the state, but this group is powerful at this point. They have personal relationships, they're very supportive of each other.
Your goal is to combine the values of the cards. Whoever is closest to 0 wins.
I saw the emergence of a collective wisdom and a collective ethos around pedagogy and teaching that was just beautiful. I feel like that is the kind of work that can really affect teaching across the state, across the country in positive ways.
Yeah, now it opens possibilities.